Alright, I'd like to apologize in advance for the lighting and the camera. It's been ridiculous to set up. Alright, so, hello and welcome to General Chemistry. This will be the first vodcast of the entire semester. So let's get started with Unit 0.0, which deals with me revealing the key details in succeeding in this class as a whole. I'd like to make a point at the bottom of the screen for those watching. A lot of you watching may be questioning the credibility of myself and the information that I have to offer you. So let me tell you some general information so you know where I'm coming from. I'm about as academically average as you can manage. I possess no properties or characteristics that are unrealistic or unrelatable to yourself. This class is unlike any other. There are a lot of things that you think may apply to this class but actually don't. I will go into more detail about that soon. I made it through this class. Everything you will face, I've already faced. I learned from my mistakes. There are mistakes you will encounter if you don't listen. I'd also like to emphasize the importance of getting help. You will actively be dealing with ideas and calculations that you've never dealt with before. You have no advantage here, other than the resources that will be provided to you as class goes on. You'll hear this a lot, and I can't emphasize this enough. If you ask yourself a question, ask the same question to the teacher. When he says ask questions, ask the question. Be careful with how you word your questions. Act like you want to solve the problem and show that you are willing to do so. He will not, actively answer your question if you don't show the motivation to solve the problem. It's also important to emphasize, no matter what you think of the teacher or how you see him interact with other students, he will answer your question. It literally is his job. Yourself. That is the answer here. If you're taking notes, you should write this down. To succeed in this class, you must depend upon yourself. This is inherently true. What I mean by this is that, plain and simple, if you don't do the work, nothing changes. You can be on the same assignment for the entire year. Class does not proceed without you. If you don't do the work, the class doesn't move forward. Time and place. There's a time and place for everything, and this is especially true in chemistry. In school or in class, in this order is priority for the assignments that you're given. Testing. Testing is only a thing that you can do at school. You need a password for the test, and you need teacher supervision. Lab work. 1/3 of your grade is lab work. If you don't do the labs, you're liable to fail the class. And lastly come Moodle assignments, which make up the bulk of what you'll be doing in the class, but that can also be done at home, as seen in number 2. So, again, in this order, testing, labs, and Moodles. Number 2, at home. Again, in this order, notes, which you will need to take. Another third of your grade is a notebook grade. Everything that you learn in this class is learned independently and online through the notes that you take on Moodle, which you will later take assignments on that you need to complete and get an 80% or above on. So notes you absolutely need to do at home. There's no exception for watching the notes and wasting your time at school taking those notes. Moodle assignments are also important. The more Moodle assignments you do at home, the more time you have to spend at school doing stuff like testing labs, things that can only be completed at school. It's also important to understand the dynamic of your teacher, Mr. Gundrum. Some of you might think or come to understand that he's unwilling to teach you, and that is simply not true. Sir Gundrum is a playful character and displays casual characteristics that are not seen in other teachers. He will give you the respect you want in the end, especially if you show that you're willing to work. You may think Mr. Gundrum's a different teacher, but he is a teacher. He will do his job. Some of you, most of you, will never use anything you learn in this class outside of college. If this is true, focus on what chemistry teaches you about yourself, and that's a lot. If you think about that, the difficulty of this class and the style of teaching definitely justifies itself. In this class, you'll need to recognize your habits, study habits, as well as testing habits, and as well as ordering what you do with your time are extremely important. If anything, it's more a class about this and yourself than it is actually about chemistry, if you're willing to look at it this way. And it also focuses on adjustment. This is an entirely new class with new concepts. If you're not willing to adjust to this, you're going to have a difficult time. So that about sums it up for the very first vodcast of chemistry for the first semester. Good luck to you all.